full opening. Whoa! And look at that. Hey, everybody. Look at all you guys are in early. Lance Frazier, Chris Nelson, Chris Burns, Dave Brayman, Snowy Wyoming. It's not spring yet, Dave, although maybe today we're starting spring here. Supposed to maybe get a little bit of snow this afternoon, but we are still planning on riding. Chris Nelson, good. Hope your boys and Ruth are okay. That ravenous. Yes, she will absolutely keep everybody in life. She's not here. She stays home when there's guests because she's a mean, nasty little thing. Yes, clean your air filter, Lance Frazier. It's been a gnarly run of poor air filter maintenance. This is my buddy Sam, and we're going to do an intro here in just a second, but let everybody get on. Jacob, anyway, whatever, from Alaska. Yes, Jacob.
Nice.
Jason Lash, how are you doing, man? Did Josh Budimlia get to test your shock out? If so, what did he think? Also, when are you going to get to test your shock out? Jared Sahagan, what's happening? From Gunny. Let's see, Brian Pierce is coming. I guess so. I found out that the scams on YouTube are like going nuts. My buddy Woody sent me a text talking about it. I guess it's been like nonstop. Even who was it? It was Linus Tech Tips got hammered, so I guess I'm in good company. But I'm gonna tell Woody that we're live so he joins in. How is everybody doing out there? See, hey, Moto Minded, what is up, Chris Vestal? How's it going, man?
What's up, Jason?
Chris, when are we going to go ride? We got to do that very soon. We got to go ride dirt bikes very, very soon. It's coming on. Dry Creek should be getting good here super, super soon. It's a little dark over there. Sweet. Okay, racing this weekend. Good. Scott Coughlin, what's going on from Dallas? How is Dallas these days? I'm good. We need a rental. Dude, Woody, if we had a rental Sherco, it would just be a rental sure can't. Well, unless you want to donate yours, and we can hopefully fix it all up.
I think a Cody Webb endorsement.
Yeah, there we go.
Shercos. Yeah.
Yeah. Right on, Chris. Yes, very soon. Let's talk. Actually, shoot me a text. Let's get together. Maybe this weekend if you're around. It's supposed to be getting really nice. All right, cool. All right, here we go. I got to do my favorite thing. There we go. Welcome to the Gospel of Two Wheels, where the coffee's hot, the bikes are fast, and your comments are absolutely ridiculous. Welcome, everybody. We got my buddy Sam Mihulka here from Grit Motorsports. Sam, how you doing?
Good.
Awesome.
Good pronunciation.
Yeah, we're
impressive.
It's it's actually just like it's spelled.
It is, but people usually add L's and K's.
Yeah, right. It's like my name. If you just read it out, Spradling, it's very easy. If you just anyway. But yeah, so Sam owns Grit Motorsports. They are a new rental shop here in Montrose. Sam, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So I am originally from St. Louis. Actually did some time in Denton, Texas. I saw we had a Dallas person. It's where my wife and I went to school. And moved back to Conifer, Colorado a few years ago. And yeah, we decided to come out to Montrose after looking at the prices and what's available in Colorado. And Montrose is a pretty incredible place here in the state. So yeah, we got out here. Like to ride dirt bikes. And so brought my shop out, and there was already enough good repair shops in town. So I decided I'd go another direction, and so yeah, we're getting into the rental business out here.
And Woody, yes, Spalding is definitely the most common mistaken pronunciation of my name. And there's my mom. Hi, Mama, I love you. Mojave Mike, good to see you. Rep the Lou, yes.
Yeah.
That's
yes.
Who's the rapper from St. Louis?
Nelly.
Nelly, there we go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think his mom used to like live down the road from us. Yeah,
oh really?
That's a very tight-knit network out there.
Nice. I mean, for a huge city.
Yeah.
It's still all you St. Louis Mo people are ridiculous. And I say that because Zach and Leander are from there also. And it's weird. Well, everybody migrates away from St. Louis, and I don't blame them.
It's a good place to be from.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, it's funny when you talk to people, you either get, I'm from St. Louis or I'm from Missouri, and those are two very different things.
Yeah.
You got your backwoods Missourians, and then you got your St. Louis people.
Yes. Roger Hurd, how's it going? Kim Jackson, dude named Eric. Yes, let's go. Glad to have you here. Coming in from Australia, Two-Stroke Addict. Good to see you. Bruce Kennedy, good morning. A very small, big city. Yeah, I'm sure. So, Samothy J. Mihulka, we've decided that Samothy is what Sam is short for. Guided rides as well as rentals. You're not technically offering that, right?
Not right now. I'm starting small so I don't get in above my head, and it's just me right now. So I will be working to get all the rentals out to you. And then
you can call me.
Yes.
And you can go ride with me for free.
Yes,
like I'm
exactly.
not, because I'm always riding, and if you rent a bike, especially on a Thursday, you can come ride with us, or maybe, you know, Bruce, just give me a call. If you're coming out, Bruce, I will make time and we'll go ride.
Yes, and it's, right now I have some time slots. It's like 7-hour windows throughout the day. There's 2 different slots. But obviously if you're coming out to ride Thursday night, or you're trying to plan a ride with Morgan or buddies, call me or email me, because I definitely want to make it work. And honestly, the goal is for people to come out here and find some adventure, not necessarily have somebody hired to just show them around.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's a lot to be said to exploring. So.
I like that a lot. Just come out, ride your dirt bike. That's what I did.
Yes.
I moved here, I opened the shop, and I just started riding around. I didn't have anybody. I didn't really know anybody here. So I just put the link to Sam's rentals in there. By the way, Sam, we haven't talked about it. What do you have for rent?
So right now I have 2 2023 KTM 300 XCs.
The game changer.
The game changers. I heard that they were really good on YouTube. I just kept getting a couple video here and there about them. But yeah, so I got 2 of those. Hoping to get 2 more early in the season. Like I said, just kind of starting small. But I'll probably be offering some 4-strokes for the guys that, you know, like those.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Yeah, right now, 2023 XCs.
Yeah, man. They're fresh, brand new. Like I said, check that link out. Also, if you're watching this later, there'll be a link in the description to go in, check out rentals. It's pretty sweet. You can actually just reserve it online. Like, you don't have to call and talk to someone if Sam's out popping wheelies or whatever.
Yep.
You can just reserve it online. It'll save your spot and the whole thing. So it's super, super cool. What are, like, any special things about those bikes other than the fact that they're the best bike ever built?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, not much needs to be done to them, even though it seems like you kind of keep upgrading and changing yours.
Well, that's just because that's what I do.
Oh, yeah, no. Honestly, I think just stock. I haven't even touched them. I've been trying to put some hours on them to get them broken in, and they're pretty incredible. So they'll be getting some armor on them. I'll be throwing some moose bibs or balls. I think we were discussing one of those
Moose
2.
balls.
So just get you set up to go have a good time. But I think there's a lot to be said for what they are stock. And so coming out to ride one and just see what they're like off the showroom floor is pretty fun.
Yeah, I think, it's going to be sweet. As you guys know, I love the bikes. They're brilliant, whatever. They're amazing bikes off the showroom floor. You don't really need to do all the crap I've done to them. Although I can say, if you have a huge pile of money and you want to do suspension work, the 6500 kit is dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb how good it is. Like the air forks, it's crazy how good those are amazing, honestly. Now the new ones, and with our valving setup, very, very good. Also very affordable to just valve the forks. It's not that bad. If you want to go next level, I'm going to be putting together the full-on like Highland Cycles A kit TBT setup, and advertising that here soon, folks. But it's incredible.
That'll be rad. Yeah.
So Sam, so you're from St. Louis, you moved to Conifer, like, what's your background? Like, did you go to college? Did you study anything? How did you end up doing motorcycles?
So I did the quick route. I did 7 years to get an associate's degree.
Nice.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the way to do it. That's the most economical.
Real quick, Todd said good morning. He's in at the Pentagon this morning.
Oh,
so
really?
Kind of a cool connection there. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Can you work on my taxes?
Maybe.
Yes, Jason, they are better than the cones. Sorry. It's good.
So, schooling. Yeah, so I started out wanting to get a business degree like everybody else, and I'm very much a BC average student, and that doesn't get you very competitive in the business degree world. So I ended up, I was in Dallas and decided I wanted to learn to work on stuff. I grew up on Jeeps and cars and stuff, and so started going to dealerships and saying, hey, where do you guys get your mechanics? How do I get into the industry? And Ford was the only one that said, we got a school program. It's at this college. It gives you a degree. And so I went there. And so, yeah, I did 2 years at the Ford Asset Program in Dallas and learned to work on all types of cars and came out master certified. Not quite master certified. I think I was like 2 classes short because it was in COVID. And so they weren't offering those at the time. So that's my kind of schooling background.
Right. And Kim asked, does the rent price include insurance or is it an insurance option?
So I am actually working on that because I was working with an insurance company. I have been for months, getting a final quote. And in about the last week, that quote more than doubled. And then they said, well, that's only for 2 bikes instead of 4, and we need all the money up front. And so to be completely honest, I don't have the money I mean, that was like just shy of 10 grand for 2 bikes. And so I'm working with a couple companies. Some of them, it's on my end. Others require that the customer purchase and sign stuff. Right. And so that will all be very clear on the website, and especially as I get going. If anybody does sign up and something changes, I'm very much going to be open and say, hey, here's what happened, here's what's going on, and just make it a smooth process. So I'm hoping it's included is the long answer for that.
Nice. And Jason, I know we did talk about the 6500s last year. I did not know yet. And yeah, I didn't know. I'm learning, right? As everything goes on and as I build this bike and all that stuff. And I didn't know how good the 6500s are. But the other thing is that what we did in yours is about a third the money. So, because the cone valve kit we did, it was like 5 something for the parts, right? I mean, I know the rest of it costs a lot more than that, but the cone valve part of it was like 5 something. The 6500s are $1,500, so it's a 2/3 more price to get anyway, or actually 3 times. Excuse me. It's a third of the price of the 6500s. So, but Jason, honestly, you could probably pretty easily like sell your internals, your air spring and your cone valve damping setup, because that'll just come right out and then drop the 6500s in, and you could help make up that difference. But yeah, and actually talk to me, since you've already had us valve things. Talk to me, we can work with you on the price of the valving. Like the parts are the parts, they're very expensive, but the price of the valving, because you're already a TBT customer and we've already valved your forks, we can talk about discount on that and making that work out. But yeah, I didn't know how good they were, and they are very good. And 2-stroke attic A kit is gonna be probably about $3 grand for the full setup. So that's forks, shock, decked, which honestly is a lot of money. It's a huge pile of it, but it's not as bad as like buying, because like if you buy the A stuff from WP, like if you buy cone valve forks and a shock and all that, you're going to be like 6 G's or more, and that's not even valved. That's just like bolted onto the bike. Our setup for around $3,000 is going to be fully custom setup for you and installed, ready, sag set, the whole thing. So it should be good. Yeah, Bruce, it sounds like you might want to hire an attorney.
Might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, I agree. When I had rentals, I was lucky. There's my father, Scott Spradling, who is an attorney, and I had him write up my release and all that stuff. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. But yeah, let's see. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. And Bruce Kennedy, yes, huge influence. I'll go ahead and admit to being somehow, some way, I'm an influencer. That's really weird to say, but I do not have a mountain of money. They don't just give us mountains of money. We do get free stuff. We'll have Big Man shock springs available with rentals. Bjork, yes, I'm going to work with Sam on that. We're gonna work on that. I haven't even talked. He didn't know this.
I didn't know this.
But I am going to work on getting him a setup. Since the forks are so easy to pressurize, since they're air forks, And I'm going to recommend that he stays with air forks on these bikes, even if he had a pile of money, because you can just, add pressure and stiffen them up for bigger guys. Bjork, I'm guessing you're not a slight individual. But then you could easily, it would be relatively inexpensive to have, 4 or 5 shock springs at the shop, and when someone comes in, you just say, hey, what's your weight, and just yank the shock off spring and good to go. So yeah, Bjork, he's going to have that. We're going to work on that.
Yes, yeah, I'd love to accommodate as many people as possible. Like I said, keeping it simple at first. Morgan and I work together at stuff and just kind of keep adding to it. I want to get everybody out here to ride that wants to.
Yeah, and if you guys, I'm going to put the link to my website here. And if you go to the free ebooks section of that website, we have a guidebook for Peach Valley. I think I'm going to start working on the guidebook now for Dry Creek. Those are our 2 local, super close areas. There are also areas that you can't, I don't mind blowing up on the internet because they're huge. They're already very impacted. They're well set up, good parking, all that good stuff. So I don't mind showing the world that, right?
Yeah.
There's places I'm not going to show you on the internet, where it is, but those places I will. And so if you're renting a bike, go there, look at the, download that guidebook first, and then you can. Oh, there you go. My dad.
Hey, perfect.
All right.
Scott,
Dad,
I'll get a hold of you. Thank you.
I will. Yeah, I'll get Sam your email so we can get him dialed in. James, tell me what you say. What's the dirt like there? James, it is, it's dangerously close to being good. It just keeps raining down here, but I am very hopeful, fingers crossed, that we are going to ride this evening. If it doesn't rain anymore today, the Adobes are going to be perfect, with the exception of maybe some north face, back, dark, whatever, but generally it's going to be pretty good as long as it doesn't rain anymore. So. What other questions do you guys have, either for Sam or for me, about rentals? I might rent one for the Death March this year. That way I can, there we go.
Perfect.
See, Woody, that's the key. That's what we need to do.
Yes.
And also, if you rent one, we won't maybe have the problem of your Sherco failing mid-ride.
Oh,
He's going to be so mad. I love you, Woody. I'm sorry. His Sherco surrendered, just like the French always do.
Yeah.
And so
I see. There's a connection there.
it waved the white flag early. Did the WR Performance folks reply to your? No, they did not, Bruce Kennedy. Unfortunately, I'm going to send them another email. All I did was fill out their form online for contacting, and they did not get back to me yet. But I'm interested in doing that. I don't know if have you seen that WR Performance? It's like air filter cleaner.
Okay.
And it's pretty sweet. It works with petroleum products, no toilet, whatever, and it looks really good. Sorry, Woody. It's super cool, and I think it'd be a cool thing for people to mainly for traveling. I don't in a shop. I can see if you're not like me, it's not going to work for me.
Okay.
Because we clean a million air filters,
Yeah.
right? And you only get 10 cleans out of a $24 bottle and all. But
I see.
I think especially for traveling, or if you're at home and you're not just constantly doing air filters, and you don't have children who are dirtying air filters, it's just nonstop.
Yeah.
I think it might be really cool, and it looks like it gets it super, super clean. And Bruce tried it out; it was awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah. Roger, I heard you said you rode 50 miles, dude. That makes me happy in my heart to hear that you're riding. Yes, I know, it's right or error. Actually, Brian, how has the bike been running? I know it was the struggle there for a little while with the top end and all that, but how is it running now? So, let me know. Let's see. By the way, there's a pile of you watching and not very many thumbs up. So back out of the chat, thumbs up, come back in. Oh, Lance Frazier, you ordered something, they ship fast. Yeah, I need to get a hold of him. And it's not that I necessarily want everything for free, but I thought maybe if they were interested, I could help promote them and they could send me a bottle. We could try it out. I think it would be a cool thing to sell here in the shop. I don't think it's going to be a cool thing for the shop use necessarily. I used it, works really good, but you want to stock up dirty ones and give them all clean at once. Oh, there you go. Cool. And it's much better. Good to know. By the way, Woody, when are you coming out to ride? It's very soon. Oh, very exciting. And this is actually ties into Sam because we were talking about this. So Jeb Fernandez, who is the winner of the contest, he's the second winner.
Sweet.
The first guy, Rich Nunn, who I'm sure that's not really his name. Rich might be his name. But Rich never got back to me. Jeb got back to me. He's coming out. I think it's going to be the end of April. I have to look. Anyway, we'll figure that out. It's like the last 2 days in April, I think, is when he's coming out. But Rich, I'm so excited for Jeb. He won. He's coming out. He's coming from Chandler, Arizona.
Sweet. Okay.
And Sam and I are talking about maybe letting him ride one of the rental bikes.
Yeah.
And my bikes and whatever he wants to ride. I don't really care. But Sam was kind enough to offer that up.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd love to. As an option. You don't have to.
Yeah. So I'm excited. Mike Johnson, you're in Colorado Springs today. That's cool. What are you doing over there? That's weird. That's too far away. Too many people. Kim, you're at 160% of normal snow this season. Oh my gosh.
That's not good for dirt bikes.
Nuts. No. Kim lives up in, I guess it's western. Is it western Wyoming, Kim? Are you technically west of the middle of Wyoming? I think you are. Anyway, super cool place. I need to come ride, Kim, one of these days.
The place with the restaurant that you're talking about? Is that the area?
No, it's, I forget. Your Rock Springs or Raw, like, I can't remember, Kim. You'll tell me. Anyway, out in the America part of Wyoming, which is most of Wyoming. Okay. Unfortunately, Jackson is not like America anymore, but the rest of Wyoming is still very United Statesy.
I see.
It's very free, and that's where she is. She's out there in the good part of Wyoming. So, the place I was telling you.
What were the races?
That's Du Bois.
Oh yeah.
What are the races? Which race?
I thought you said there was a race. There's a place with really good chicken fried steak.
Oh yeah. So no, that's Du Bois, and there is a race up there. And,
Okay.
Yeah. IV class. Right on, Mike. Cool. Rock Springs. There we go. So yeah, Southwest Wyoming. And anyway, it's a super cool spot. What else, guys? What else is going on? Sam, what else do you have? Do you have anything else you want to talk about your rentals? Because I'm making him promote this. He wasn't like, hey, I want to be on your podcast.
It was more like a couple days ago. Hey, do you want to be on the podcast? Oh,
yeah,
sure.
I was like, yeah, let's get you some business. How much are the bikes a day?
Yes. So right now, $300 a day gets you a bike. I'm also, so that's pick up from the shop, and I'm going to have a trailer that you can rent too. That I'm trying to build it so I can fit 6 bikes. I think it's going to be more of a 4 to 5 bike trailer. That's going to be available to rent, or I'm going to offer a pickup and drop off. So if you have a trailhead that you want to go hang out at, Peach Valley, Flat Top, I'll be able to load them up, bring them to you, get that all worked out. All the paperwork will be done right there at the trailhead, and then you go ride, and I come pick them up 7 hours later.
Sweet.
So that's kind of the gist of it. The website really goes into detail about what it all entails to rent. But yeah, I mean, $300 is essentially what it takes to get a 300XC.
Yeah.
For 7 hours.
Heck yeah! I'm putting the website up here again. 1 second, so you guys can, if you guys are interested in reserving. See, yeah, can Motor Minded put some lights on me for Death March? Yeah, talk to Chris. He'll help you.
Gas is included. Yes.
Yep.
So I'm gonna have it all pre-mixed, and I don't want you guys to have to worry about any of that. Just get out and ride.
And so, Steve,
GPS
tracks with rental. Talk to me, Steve. I'll get you GPS tracks of the areas.
And that's something I'm trying to add to the website. If you guys do any exploring on there, I've kind of started into it so you can get an idea of what the layout is going to be. But I'm going to be trying to update for all of the main cities kind of on this side of the slope, and then doing local food shops that are around. And then I'm going to have a trails page, and Morgan said I can take some of the info off of his booklets and put it in there. So my goal is for you guys to be able to use Google Maps to get there, Onyx Trails if you're riding around. We like co-treks.
Sorry, Woody.
I don't
awesome.
influence. Oh, that's a good discount. You have to
Yeah.
put out like a TikTok video or something for
Yeah, there we
Morgan to
go.
go with. But yeah, so I'm hoping that as time goes on, I'm gonna have more and more of those resources on there. I quite literally like just finished the website, just got the booking stuff integrated. So I'm still working to get that all squared away so that we're ready to go in April. But yeah, keep checking back as you want to explore.
Yeah, and Steve, one thing, it was Steve, yeah, Steve Varney. One thing to know about Colorado, if you've not been here, is that Cotrex, is Cotrex, is an app. Highly recommend it. Download it now if you're ever going to come out here, period. Whether you're renting a bike or not renting a bike or you're going for a hike, it doesn't matter, or hunting. Cotrex is a really, really cool app. It's totally free, and it has quite literally every trail in the state. Now, it's close to that. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but it's really close to every one. They're working on getting all the trails. They're basically, Cotrex is run by the state, and they're talking to the feds and the state about getting all their GPS information that they have from, anyway. So it's definitely every trail in our area is on there. It's free, it's super cool, and it works good. Roger heard any other bikes can be available. I don't drink the orange Kool-Aid. Not yet. I don't know. That's up to him.
So honestly, what I'm looking at is trying to get into some fuel injected 350s and maybe a 250 because I do want to offer. I mean, a 300 and a 350 is a pretty serious bike.
Yeah.
I do want to offer, if you want to come out and ride and you're not somebody that's looking for a race bike, get you on a 250 4-stroke to go run around.
Or Roger, you could bring your TWs out here, bring the camper out here, park at my place. By the way, you're like the only person I'm going to let park at my place in the camper. And then you can rent your TWs out, make a little money, and then ride them too.
There you go. We could have like a special week of like, hey, we're featuring.
Yeah. Heck yeah. And yeah, I'm also with Woody. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, just rent the bike and ride for sure. Even if you don't love, KTMs, which I get it. Like it's funny, as a KTM owner and a guy who's owned lots of them now, I still don't like KTM. I do, but like they drive me nuts, and I would rather be on a Yamaha, but Yamaha doesn't build the wicked motorcycle.
Yeah, it's pretty wicked.
Yeah, oh, it's so good. How many hours do the rental bikes do? Do you keep them long term or sell them after 200, 300 hours?
You know, my goal is to make a bike last like 2 years. I think especially with the 2023 technology, they're not really going to be changing a ton. So rather than constantly roll into new bikes, I'd like to have bikes that are dialed in and that I know everything on them. And then after, like I said, probably 2 years, start to roll some new ones in. So you guys that are coming out to do some riding, want to test out whatever new bike Morgan might look at and find out is really good, we probably try to stay on that cycle.
And Bruce, I will definitely try to talk Sam into some betas. I've been talking actually lots of people into betas. I had a conversation yesterday with someone who's like, I'm thinking about getting a new bike, and I don't know. And I was like, dude, if you want simple and good, and I mean, good in every way, really. Honestly, the betas these days are so good, and if Beta was coming out with something super brand new this year, like something crazy new, I would get a Beta to test for the shop. But since it's another super new, W this year, that's why I'm getting another KTM. But when Beta finally, and I don't mean finally in a bad way, but when they do something like groundbreaking again, I will probably buy one. And that's just because it has nothing to do with the quality or what I would want to ride, any of that. It has to do with views on YouTube.
Yeah.
That 300, well, I point at it, it's not even here, it's at my house. That 300 was one of the best things I could do for this channel because it was so new and crazy. Yeah. Let's see, a woman may want X Trainer, Bruce, 100%.
Like I said, my goal is to kind of cover all of it so that anybody can come out here and ride. I just can't buy a whole bunch of bikes right now, so the 300s just seemed like a good one to get started with. But bring some of that income in so that I can start to roll into more and more. And yes, I'd love for the ladies to come out and ride. That would be awesome.
And Shane's asked about mini bikes.
So I actually just talked to
Peace out, Woody.
one of the rental shops up in Junction, and they informed me that Colorado is not acknowledging waivers for people under 16.
Even if their parents sign it.
Yes, so there is no rentals for kids or anybody under 16. So unfortunately, I mean, the small bikes, part of the reason I got into this was that I wanted to see the sport grow. And so I was really looking forward to getting big enough to be able to help kids learn how to ride and rent to kids, and just so that you parents don't have to go buy a bike before your kid can try it. But the state of Colorado has not made that easy here now.
Yeah.
So
it's one of those things I'm trying to figure out too, because obviously you guys know I love getting the kids out. My kids obviously started when they were tiny, and I love helping kids be riding dirt bikes. So we might work, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out a deal where people with small bikes that, kids are kind of outgrowing, maybe work out a deal where it's not rentals, it's just giving them to them if they're good friends. I don't know, we'll figure something out. But it sucks that Colorado is like that.
Yeah.
And because, I mean, we all know that, dirt bikers in general, as a whole, are pretty awesome, and they're not going to sue people over stuff, but you got to protect yourself. As my father, if he's still watching this, as an attorney, he knows it's all about, you got to protect yourself. People are not that awesome. So a lady bike, nothing yet. That's what he was just saying.
yeah, and not that the ladies can't come ride the 300.
They can ride 300. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the lady riding the 300, but
not at all.
A beginner bike, it's not.
Yes, there's even in that white map.
Yeah, it's,
right, the white one.
mat,
I was hitting some whoops, and all of a sudden the front tire's a little bit higher than what I wanted it to be.
Yeah,
because it's got some power.
Awesome.
It's so fun.
And Bruce Kennedy, I agree. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Fair enough. And he said they can't keep them in the showroom floors, except for that you're saying there's a whole bunch of 22s for sale. So why is that? Event for the kids, private property, miles of trail. Ooh, yeah. And I do kids rides all the time. I just don't provide motorcycles. That's the thing. Inviting families out to go ride and making it, that's super cool. But it's the problem of providing a bike if something happened.
And that's the thing. It's the liability. I'd love to be able to provide bikes for that kind of stuff, even just to go ride. But people, it takes one bad person, to ruin it.
And Dave, umbrella policy. So like I said, my father is an attorney. He's probably working right now. At 75 years old, he's probably out working. But it's interesting. You can have a big umbrella policy that maybe would keep you from losing everything, but in your life. But it doesn't really matter. You can't waive your rights totally. You can't totally waive rights if you're deemed negligent, whether you were or not. If you're deemed negligent, and if they have enough money, they'll fight it to the point they can break you. And people do, again, if you talk to my father, people do this. People with lots of money, for whatever reason, not all of them, but some like to just ruin people's lives, which is really sad. And they'll just wear people down. And so
So prior to moving here and prior to starting the rental side, I went and shadowed a few businesses on the Front Range especially, and just talked to some guys. And I tell you what, everybody had at least one story of a customer that just fought, right? And they said it was something that was very clearly customer negligence, right? And they just did not want to let it go, and it kind of ruined it, from, hey, we really want to have fun, to, wow, we really need to protect ourselves because this happens. And so just trying to get ahead of that so it can be just continually fun and nobody has to be that worried. So
right. And Sandy, I'm sure you are an LLC.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
LLC.
LLC, that protects you as your home and family, but it doesn't protect the business. I mean, that's the whole point. Which, for guys like Sam and I, the business is everything, and it's so. Anyway, we're not. It's not like Elon Musk, who's just protecting his 38 billion from his other 100 billion. It's
what a problem to have.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And Bruce Kennedy, the reason they're selling the 300 RRs for $8,700 is because they want a new TBI because it's so good. So good.
It is.
There you go.
Hondas.
Yeah.
Gary.
Oh, do you know?
Yeah, he's one of my Honda buddies.
Yeah,
so
there we go.
I've ridden
Yes.
YZs, I've ridden Hondas. Gary is from Montrose, actually. One of the main people that introduced me out here. We did some riding. And if you're on the website, that's Gary front and center overlooking the Adobes.
Oh, yeah, he's on a CRF.
Yeah, so he's, he hasn't ridden one of the 300s yet, so everybody just give him a break.
Yeah, exactly. James, I agree. Mean people do suck. And I'm a firm believer that most people really aren't bad, but it only takes one wrong dude. That's why as like a guy who didn't have time to keep up with the rental thing, that's why I personally quit, because I had too much other stuff going on. And I was like, man, I don't have time to like deal with this. So that's why I'm going to support Sam and get his thing going, and then do whatever we can do to, make everything super rad. I could have owned Glen Helen. Yeah, I'm going backwards on a race course. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Roger Hurd, for not saying. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to sue someone over. It's a motorcycle racing. Things happen. Bad stuff happens. You crash and fall. I actually had that conversation with a guy yesterday about a person I know. I won't go into it because he's still here in the valley, who I really dislike, who threatened to sue a friend of mine until, what did he say, until his kids were even going to have to pay for it, over his kid crashing in a race. Just crashing in a race and broke his collarbone. And anyway, I was like, you are a worthless pile.
That's frustrating.
Yeah, unfortunately that guy is.
That's what I have to be aware of in all of this.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, we're going to roll her up here because it's 8:33. Sam, thank you so much. Anything else you want to say about anything?
No, I think, hopefully you guys like what you see and can come out and ride. And if, like I said, if there's anything you're trying to get on a Thursday night ride, you want to work something out special, you want to pick them up and take them for a week to go travel all around here, that's all open. It may not be an exact option on the website, but I'm up for phone calls. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, make sure you if there's any questions, just get a hold of him.
Yes,
if
please.
It's not a clicky thing that makes sense, just get a hold of him. It's no big deal. And I'm sure we can work it out. And again, I am super happy to show people around. If I'm free and I'm around, I will show you around. If you want to rent a bike, I'll show you around. No charge from me. I mean, not legally, I can't do it because I don't have a thing. But also, I just want to show people around. Yeah. Paul Anstey, dude, I'm so glad to see you're here. It makes me happy. You're like one of my first supporters, and Paul, I love you. It's so good to see you. I want to see you here in Colorado, Paul, now that your communist country is opening up the world again. I want you back down here. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Last thing, any dad advice? This is I take this from if you don't watch Grand Thumb, he's a gun channel here on YouTube. He always asks his guests for dad advice.
Dad advice? Well, I'm not a dad.
He's not a dad. That's okay, but
dad advice.
Yeah. Like just advice you would give a kid or anyone. It doesn't matter. He just calls it dad advice. I think it's fun.
Advice I'd give a kid. Interesting. I think rubbing is racing, so don't sue anybody if you get in an accident. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't had to think about dad advice.
Yeah, we got it.
I should probably get on that.
Yeah. Right on, guys. Thank you so much, so much for joining us. I appreciate it. Punk Rock Club, I love you the most. Paul Anstey, New Beta, you need one. 23 with RR Race Edition with the KYB all the way around. It would be awesome. Bruce, you could go the 22s in Colorado, but honestly, it's worth the money to just go with a new one and get the KYB shock. I love you guys. We will see you soon. Get out and ride your dirt bikes.
See you guys.